They say nothing tests a community quite like a real Wyoming winter, but nobody in Clear Ridge Valley was ready for what came after the HOA tore down my snow fence. One small act, that's all it took to turn 20 years of quiet neighborly routine into a storm that buried the truth. And when the snow melted, unearthed every secret our board had tried to keep hidden. When the blizzard hit, it wasn't just the drifts piling up outside, it was the weight of corruption cover-ups. And a president named Karen who'd never met a bylaw she couldn't bend. That snow fence of mine, the one they called unsightly, had held back disaster for decades. For years, every October, I'd file the proper notice, run the mesh tight, and let it do its job. It was the only thing that kept snow from drowning my property and the road below. I built it after the '04 blizzard nearly trapped my wife in the garage. But the new board, handpicked by Karen, loaded with friends and relatives, didn't care about history or safety or state exemptions for agricultural use. They wanted views. They wanted conformity. And on January 2nd, they taped the violation notice to my door. I stood there in the cold, fingers numb, watching the wind whip along the fence line, knowing what that barrier meant, not just for me, but for the 12 homes downwind. They'd never admit it, but Karen didn't want snow protection. She wanted my land on display. I went inside, pulled out my black binder, every receipt, map, weather report, legal clause highlighted and dated. I wasn't planning on fighting a war, but sometimes the fight finds you. The signs came early. A bent fence post, too clean to be wind too soon after the notice to be a coincidence. That night I set up trail cams aimed high and low. And sure enough, 3:14 a.m., motion alert on my phone, white HOA truck, 2 people in reflective vests, and Karen herself, red coat, catching the security light as she stepped in and watched her crew take bolt cutters to the mesh. I called the sheriff, filed the complaint, attached all the footage and GPS tags, even cited the snow fence exemption in the state code. By January 4th, the HOA sent out flyers blaming my fence for snow displacement hazards. Photos crooked, staged, snapped right after their own sabotage. They were laying the foundation to find me, maybe lean my house, all while hiding what they'd done. But I wasn't playing catch-up. That night I wrote a cease and desist, hand-delivered it to the board, CC'd every local office that mattered, and then called in Mel Carter, retired civil engineer, sharp as a tack. Mel ran topo maps, showed me what would happen without the fence. The models were clear as day. Snow would blow over the ridge, bury the access road, block 2 storm drains, and come melt, send all that water straight into Karen's pride and joy, the new unpermitted clubhouse. Didn't matter. January 6th. Dawn broke to the sound of power tools. HOA's contractor was out there sawing through the last posts. Karen stood by, arms crossed. "You'll get the invoice," she said, like she was doing me a favor. I filmed everything. That afternoon, the snow started. By sundown, the blizzard advisory was up 28 inches, 40 mph gusts, road closures. Karen didn't send a word to residents. No prep, no salt, no plan. The blizzard roared in. By morning, the road below my old fence was under 12 feet of drift. The new clubhouse bunkered in a dune of wind-packed snow. Mailboxes buried, garages swallowed. My trail cams caught it all, the snow, the wind, the avalanche pouring down where my fence used to stand. I didn't need to leave my cabin. Every image, every timestamp documented. Chaos set in quick. Residents called the sheriff. HOA chat groups exploded. Karen emailed blaming regional weather dynamics. I recognized the line from an old climate report I'd written a decade ago. She never understood the words she copied. That day I suited up, hiked through the powder, filmed the damaged mailboxes, crushed snow against garage doors, drainage blocked, and down at the basin, storm drains already iced over, water pooling beneath the surface, even in sub-zero cold. The next 2 days, nothing moved. Plows couldn't get through. HOA's snow service refused the job until the county cleared main roads. Karen, desperate, tried blaming property tampering, me, of course. So I released my video, a 12-minute compilation showing the sabotage, the removal, Mel's models. I posted Karen's own words about the invoice, overlaid storm projections and real footage. Within hours, it was everywhere. Facebook groups, emails, even the local news. The news crew arrived. I showed them everything, binder tabs labeled sabotage, deception, hydrology. They barely spoke. "Karen's gonna hate this," the reporter said. "Not my concern," I told him. "I'm just trying to stop a flood." Because truth is, snow's not the problem in Wyoming. It's the melt. That winter, the fence's absence turned the neighborhood into a funnel with the new clubhouse right in the line of fire. The building wasn't just unpermitted, it was built too low on land the HOA didn't even own. I filed a county complaint, drone footage, FEMA overlays, financial docs, everything. Tips started arriving, anonymous notes in my mailbox about falsified maintenance logs, funds routed through LLCs tied to Karen's family. I cross-checked the HOA ledger's payments for fence removal, emergency slope restoration, wellness consulting, all routed to shell companies, unlicensed contractors, or Karen's own relatives. Sent the whole mess to a forensic auditor friend, Samantha. Her answer, this isn't just sloppy, it's fraud. Could be RICO. Meanwhile, the melt started, trickles under the snow pooling by the old fence line dye tracers. Mel and I dropped glowing green as they carved a path through the clubhouse crawl space, right past exposed rebar and live wires. The HOA had tried to cheat with a slapdash gravel levee, unpermitted, overwhelmed in a day. That's when people woke up. Residents refused to pay Karen's emergency surcharge. They organized, started a recall. Karen tried to stop it, claimed fraud, procedural errors, blamed misinformation. But the truth was out. Videos of the flooding were everywhere. The county stepped in, the attorney general started digging. A forensic audit was ordered. It came to a head in the fire hall. Neighbors, some angry, some hopeful, all tired, stood up and spoke. Showed photos of flood damage, bylaws, receipts, maps. The recall passed 92% in favor. Silence in the room, relief, not celebration. No cheers, just the feeling of lungs finally breathing after months under snow. Karen tried to fight back with a restraining order. Judge tossed it out, called my work whistleblowing protected by law. The audit forced demolition of the clubhouse HOA, put under county watch. Karen barred from any board for 15 years, personally liable for over $100,000. The community rewrote its rules, public votes, full transparency, a permanent snow fence district engineered and county funded right where my old line ran. Lesson learned. Corruption festers in silence. Once people stand up, show the receipts, look out for each other, no one, not even a power-hungry president, can bury the truth for long. That flood didn't just wipe out a building, it washed the dirt off the whole town. We rebuilt together. Neighbors who hadn't spoken in years now co-signed drainage projects, shared cider at bonfires, laughed at kids sledding down Kendrick's Ridge. My name didn't need to be on it, but seeing it there, I won't lie, it meant something. If there's a takeaway, it's this. The real fences are built with truth, not steel or wire. That's what holds a community together, storm after storm. And when someone tells you to take down the thing that keeps your neighborhood safe, ask yourself who really benefits if it's gone. So what would you do? Where's your line between patience and standing up for what's right? Ever had to fight back or wish you did? Drop your story below. Tell us about your HOA battles, your wins, your lessons. Because when the snow melts, what's buried always comes up. And sometimes that's just what it takes to set a town free.